Rise, Meg.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Star Wars Meg, here to provide you with another Mandalorian Season 2 update and to give you all of the news from a galaxy far, far away. So Chapter 14 or Season 2 Episode 6 drops in just 3 days time and I could not be more hyped. One of the big questions is, where do we go after Chapter 13? We know that Din Djarin, along with Baby Yoda, who's now been given the name Grogu, are headed to the ancient planet of Tython. But will Din Djarin be headed there straight away, given the fact that Moff Gideon is on his tail? In today's news update, we're going to be speaking about a big tease for Chapter 14 that has been released by Lucasfilm. We're also going to be speaking about all of the details, the name, the runtime, you name it, and we're also going to speak about elements of Chapter 13 that dropped on Friday. So before I get into the news update, please may I ask you to hit like down below, subscribe to my channel if you're brand new, and please hit the notification bell, so that way you're notified every time I post new content on this channel. You can expect daily Star Wars updates from me. And without too much jibber jabber, let's get into it. So we start with an article, and this one is from Games Radar, and they're speaking about the runtime for episode 6. So their news article starts with a warning: prepare for one of the shortest episodes of The Mandalorian yet. That's right, this is going to be one of the shorter ones we've ever seen. So the article states The Mandalorian Season 2 has not been consistent when it comes to runtimes, with last week's Chapter 13 running around 45 minutes. That was after a 37-minute episode, which was after a 33-minute episode. You get the point. The upcoming Chapter 14 will seemingly have the shortest runtime for a Season 2 episode yet, at just 32 minutes long. That number comes from FSK, the German equivalent of the BBFC and the MPA, which correctly reported the runtime of episodes 4 and 5. So we can assume their numbers on Season 2 Episode 6 will be close to the truth. Of course, there have been shorter episodes of The Mandalorian in the past. While we would all like to spend a bit of extra time with Din and Grogu, some have dropped to just 30 minutes, including the second ever episode, The Child. Conversely, the longest episode was the Season 2 premiere, starring a certain Cobb Vanth, which ran for almost 55 minutes. With Chapter 13 being so jam-packed, featuring the introduction of live-action Ahsoka and mention of Thrawn, it's perhaps a good thing that a more succinct episode is on the way. However, with the looming spectre of Moff Gideon's Dark Troopers in hot pursuit of Mando, don't expect it to be any less action-packed. So like this article says, yes, we would all like a little extra Mandalorian every week, but it is what it is. And in my opinion, these next 3 episodes are going to work as a sort of trilogy, as an elongated extended episode. And that has been almost confirmed by a Lucasfilm executive. And this brings us on to our next article. The big news from Comic Book is that Lucasfilm executive teases a roller coaster over the last 3 episodes. In essence, they're going to be absolutely jam-packed. So I'm going to read to you from this article. There are only 3 episodes left in this season of the Disney Plus Star Wars The Mandalorian. But if the series has been a bit of a wild ride for fans thus far, with various reveals and live-action appearances, then they may want to brace themselves. Lucasfilm executive Hal Hickel says that the season's final trio of episodes are going to be a roller coaster. Though he didn't tease anything that would reveal exactly what the roller coaster would entail, it is exciting nonetheless. On Twitter, he teased the fans about the nature of the upcoming 3 episodes in just a simple one-line tweet, punctuated with a smile emoji. Y'all are in for a roller coaster these last 3 episodes. So while he didn't reveal anything specific, I want to ask you guys, what do you think the final 3 episodes will be like? How do you think The Mandalorian Season 2 is going to finish? Will it be a cliffhanger? And more specifically, what is going to happen before then? What are we going to get this Friday? Do you think we're going straight to Tython? Do you think Moff Gideon is going to capture the child? Will the child become a Jedi? Will we see a big name? Or will he remain with Din Djarin and potentially become a Mandalorian, or even a Mandalorian Jedi, as a few of you have stated over the last few days? I want to know your thoughts about what's coming up next, because we're in a position where we literally do not know anything going into Chapter 14, 15, and even 16. And on this point, I just want to answer a question I've received a lot. Will we see Ahsoka again in this season? Potentially she might make a return in the finale, but in my opinion, she's going to appear next in live action form as Rosario Dawson in her own spin-off series, which Disney Plus and Lucasfilm have been working on now for a few months. I think it was back in October they said that they were in the writing process. So it is still early days, but I do think the Ahsoka series will expand on where Ezra and Thrawn are, where Sabine Wren is, and the adventures of Ahsoka since Rebels. So now let's move on to our final article, and this is from Inverse, and they've written one called The Mandalorian finally did something Star Wars has been teasing since A New Hope. The latest installment of The Mandalorian was like nothing before. There were massive revelations, sweet moments, and some impressive standoffs and battles. At the same time, it tapped into a fundamental part of Star Wars in a way no other movie or show in the franchise has ever done before. Here's how The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5 finally brought the samurai subtext of Star Wars to the forefront of its story. Composer Ludwig Göransson once told the New York Times that Jon Favreau's explanation of the Mandalorian as a character was a lonesome rider and a samurai. These twin inspirations run throughout The Mandalorian, but they also can be traced back to Star Wars' roots. Han Solo is Star Wars' ultimate renegade space cowboy, and the strictness of the Jedi Code evokes the code of the samurai lifestyle. In fact, these two distinct genres are more similar than you may think. Western movies borrowed ideas from samurai films since their genesis, and one of the most famous samurai movies, Kurosawa's The Seven Samurai, was remade in the US as The Magnificent Seven. This influence went both ways, and the two genres were in regular conversation with each other throughout the 60s and beyond. Star Wars picked the best of both genres and baked it all into a space opera setting. Blasters and quips came from westerns, while sword fights and ceremony from the samurai. Probably the best known reference point for George Lucas's influence is another Kurosawa movie, The Hidden Fortress, which told the story of two peasants who assist a princess from a dangerous situation, basically the premise of what became Star Wars: A New Hope. But The Mandalorian maximizes this to an even greater degree. Chapter 13, The Jedi, brings this genre hopping full circle by bringing the show back to its roots, the good old-fashioned samurai story turned western. Ahsoka is a vigilante attacking the magistrate stealthily under the cover of night. If you didn't know otherwise, you'd think some of these scenes came straight out of a Kurosawa movie. So what do you guys think about these genres influencing not only Star Wars, but specifically The Mandalorian? Let me know in the comments down below, and that is all of the news I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this update, and if you did, please be sure to give me a big fat like, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and also please consider becoming a patron of mine on Patreon. I'm Star Wars Meg, and I'm wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.